Claims he was kept in the walk-in freezer for 10 to 15 minutes before a classmate let him out. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
And I'm Dave Zorn, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good afternoon, everyone. 63 degrees in Hollywood under sunny skies this Friday, the 3rd of May. Here are the headlines at 3:05. 3 state lawmakers are outraged and appalled at the number of child deaths in LA County's foster care system, and they're calling for a complete audit. Some tense moments at Inglewood High School as someone is seen throwing an object, possibly a pipe bomb, onto the roof of a walkway between the buildings. For the 3rd time this week, authorities in Orange County find sharp objects buried in the sand at a child's playground. And Los Angeles Mayor Jim Hahn touts his new budget proposal, saying the $5 billion spending plan is not as painful as he initially feared. Details coming up on KNX, along with sports from Steve Grant.
Well, the Lakers will finally have their mystery end tonight. They'll determine who's going to be their first and next opponent in the NBA playoffs. We'll tell you about it at 3:15.
I'm Bill Polish at the business desk. Last month's unemployment rate hits a nearly 8-year high. The Dow drops 85. The NASDAQ falls 32. Business news on KNX at 3:20.
Traffic and weather together continues every 6 minutes on KNX with Chuck Rowe.
Afternoon, Dave.
Hi, Chuck.
I want to begin in the Valley. A problem still clearing up in Encino this afternoon. 101 westbound at Haskell Avenue. It's an injury wreck. Now, this has been moved over to the right shoulder. CHP is still on the scene doing some investigating there. That's the reason for the slowdown that comes away from Coldwater Canyon westbound on the 101. Eastbound 101 also very slow coming out of the Sherman Oaks area. That'll stay slow out through the 134 interchange. Let's go to Bill Thomas. He's over the 10 over on the west side. Hi, Bill.
Afternoon, Chuck. Eastbound 10 heavy approaching the San Diego Freeway. It's going to stay heavy all the way into downtown LA. By the way, the 110 between downtown and South Central, both sides is kind of inching along, Chuck.
In Orange County on the 405 freeway southbound at Euclid Street's 2-car wreck still clearing off to the right shoulder. Also, as you travel through Thousand Oaks this afternoon, northbound 101 at Ventura Park Road, a crash with a big rig involved. That's being cleared over to the right shoulder. Heading out of San Diego County, still clearing up this accident northbound on the 5. This is a little north of the rest area in Oceanside. Still very heavy heading up that way. And I'll be back soon with more traffic on KNX.
67 degrees, the high temperature so far today in downtown Los Angeles.
He wants 100 police officers transferred to patrol duty from their current administrative desk assignments. Alex Sullivan, KNX 1070.
More traffic and weather together, sponsored by your Southern California Ford dealers. Here's Chuck Rowe.
Eastbound 60 awfully slow this afternoon. Right out of East LA, really not much relief on your way into Diamond Bar. In fact, I heard from a tipster who said that there is some type of a grass fire that's burning a little north of the freeway there at about Garfield. Make that the southbound side of the freeway. So the 60 really not a good option for you. The 10 a little bit better. There was an accident clearing eastbound 10 at Santa Anita, but awfully slow there from about the 710. Once you do get to beyond that point out of El Monte, things really not awfully bad. A little pocket of slowing through Baldwin Park, but things look good into Pomona. And then, of course, from the 57 out to about Town Avenue, expect delays on the eastbound 10 toward the Inland Empire. I heard from tipster Brenda. She says 10 westbound connector to the southbound 215 awfully slow. That's because of the heavy slowing on the southbound 215 heading into Riverside. Let's go to Bill Thomas over the 405 and the Sepulveda Pass.
Yeah, Chuck, you're one of the airborne guys. You know how it goes on Friday. Both sides of the 405, anywhere between the Sepulveda Pass and LA International Airport, heavy and slow. Both sides of the San Diego Freeway. Bill Thomas, Air 1070.
Back in 6 minutes with more traffic on KNX.
We have 64 degrees currently in Hollywood. 68 has been the high so far today in downtown Los Angeles. Going to warm up just a few degrees each day for the next couple of days. Should be a nice weekend.
Before spring skiing melts away, make tracks to Mammoth Mountain. Just don't forget to make sure your car is
more that you'll ever give. For more information on gift certificates or the extraordinary new Mud Grotto, call 1-888-CLUB-MUD. That's 888-CLUBMUD. Glen Ivy Hot Spring Spa in Corona. The place to spa with friends.
Traffic and weather together continues at 3:19. Here's Chuck Rowe.
Just heard from a couple of tipsters about this problem earlier on the 5 northbound, a little north of the rest area in the Oceanside Camp Pendleton area. Traffic was backed up for a couple of miles around an accident. That is cleared, and things really not looking too bad now. You do slow it down for about a half mile, down to about 40 miles per hour, but things are looking good up ahead on the northbound 5. Also heard from tipster Anthony. He said 91 eastbound at Bloomfield Avenue. There's an accident. Vehicle hit the center divider there. The carpool lane is blocked. Do expect a delay heading that way. Northbound 405's jammed coming up from the 90 Marina Freeway. Not much relief there into the valley. The southbound side also gets heavy coming down from Getty Center Drive down into the west side. Mike O'Brien's up over Riverside.
Yep, and 91 westbound. Starting to see a little pinch around Old Magnolia here, but it looks like up ahead, and we're headed to an accident occurring up around Weir Canyon, maybe causing just a bit more there, Chuck.
Back soon with more traffic on KNX.
Nice day around the Southland. Mostly sunny skies. Long Beach reporting 68 degrees.
Army. Opsahl was family spokesman when arrests were finally made earlier this year. Reporting from the Inland Empire, Myrna Roberts, KNX 1070.
More traffic and weather together at 3:24. Let's start with Chuck Rowe.
In Cerritos, CHP clearing up a crash. 91 eastbound at Bloomfield, a crash. Their vehicle hit the center divider. The carpool lane is blocked. Trying to get out of East LA, use the 10. It's slow from before the 710 out to about Santa Anita, but still the better bet. The 60's jammed out of East LA all the way out through Diamond Bar. There's a brush fire visible along the 60 at about Garfield, south side of the freeway. Also a crash clearing on the right shoulder at 7th Avenue. Let's go to Mike O'Brien over the 91.
Yeah, Chuck, 91 eastbound at the 71. Looks like a problem here to the right shoulder. Just adds to the misery here now out of Anaheim Hills and into Corona. It clears up around the 15, Chuck.
One of our tipsters called about the 57. Earlier problem in Placentia has been gone for quite a while now, but the northbound 57's jammed up, leaving the 5. Back in 6 minutes with more traffic on KNX.
Temperatures still running about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. However, all you need to know. KNX 1070 News Radio. The time is 3:29 on this Friday, the 3rd of May. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dave Zorn. You're tuned to KNX 1070, and these are the places where there's news. Urbandale, Iowa. At least 7 people are injured by pipe bombs placed in rural mailboxes in Iowa and Illinois. Sacramento, Governor Gray Davis says he didn't know about a much-criticized state computer software contract before it was signed. Hollywood, hospital workers at Queen of Angels claim management efforts to save money could cost lives. Washington, President Bush celebrates Cinco de Mayo a bit early today at the White House. Details coming up on KNX, along with sports from Steve Grant.
One of the Kentucky Derby favorites has to drop out of the run for the Roses, and Mike Tyson admits he did take a big bite out of his opponent. Sports at 3:45.
I'm Bill Polish at the business desk. Rising unemployment and tensions in the Middle East push stocks lower. The Dow falls 85. The Nasdaq drops 32. Business news on KNX at 3:50.
Traffic and weather together continues on KNX with Chuck Rowe.
Both sides of the 405 on and off the brakes, starting at about the Marina Freeway all the way up into the valley. Southbound side, not much better. You will hit the brakes around Getty Center Drive, but from that point, slow. Heaviest down toward the Santa Monica Freeway, and then from there, you do hit a few pockets of slowing down toward the 90. Eastbound 10 on and off slowing starting before the 405, right out of Santa Monica this afternoon. That stays slow out into the East LA interchange. The eastbound 60, forget about that. That's just jammed out of East LA. That'll stay slow into Diamond Bar. The eastbound 10, by comparison, a little bit better. You'll slow from before the 710 out into the El Monte area. Let's go to Mike O'Brien over the Santa Ana Canyon.
Oh, it's frightfully tough, Chuck. The 91 eastbound jammed up at the 55. It's jamming up off the north 55, almost off Lincoln now. Bumper-to-bumper stuff through the 15 in Corona. Chuck?
91 westbound, really not a prize this afternoon either. I heard from a tipster earlier. She says it slows from before the 10-215 interchange. 215 slow southbound onto the 91, and that stays slow into Riverside. Back in 6 minutes with more traffic on KNX.
Should be a nice weekend with temperatures just
KNX 1070.
KNX News Time, 3:37. Let's update our traffic and weather together, sponsored by Wally Park. Here's Chuck Rowe.
Just hearing about a couple of problems in the valley. Northbound 405 just before Rinaldi. I heard from our Randy Keith. He says there's a stalled vehicle sitting in the carpool lane that'll back you up from about the 118. Expected, of course, to be slow through the west side all the way up into the valley, north 405, as you make the drive through the Sepulveda Pass. Also on the eastbound 118 just before the 405, someone's dropped some carpet padding out into the middle of the freeway there. Watch for a backup coming away from Balboa. If you're taking the drive out of East LA, making the drive out of East LA, eastbound 60, not the way to go this afternoon. There's a brush fire that's burning a little south of the freeway on the 60 at Garfield, and overall that 60 is just jammed out of East LA toward Diamond Bar. Eastbound 10 a little better. You'll start to slow from before the 710. That stays slow out to a little before the 605. Let's go to Mike O'Brien.
Yeah, in fact, just over the 57, Chuck. 57 northbound at Nutwood Chapman. A problem to the right shoulder. Jammed from the crush. It stays heavy up ahead into the Brea Pass. Chuck?
Southbound 5 at Alicia Parkway. An accident cleared from the carpool lane. Also clearing a wreck from the carpool and left lanes. Eastbound 91 at Knott. And I'll be back in 6 minutes with more traffic on KNX.
Shaping up to be a pretty nice weekend. Let's get some details on that from KNX meteorologist David Blue at the Weather Channel. Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon to you, David. We'll see the typical low clouds